What's going on, everybody? This is Abby, and in 2022, I got COVID. Okay, so story time. I was visiting home in the US for about a month during the winter holidays. I even went ahead and got my Pfizer booster shot while I was there. So everything was fine. I was already a little bit cautious about moving around too much when I was in the US, so I kind of sat tight. I really only went one place, and even while I was in that one place, I was mainly in the house. So for this trip, it was just a, literally few friends and family trip where I was in the house. I wasn't going all around. I had big plans, to go all over these places, but one thing I realized is that it's expensive to travel, and with all this COVID stuff going around, I didn't want to put myself at a higher risk, let alone my family. So I'm home, I'm chilling, I'm watching a lot of, YouTube, I'm learning some different things, taking some different courses, things of that nature. So it gets closer to my trip, so I get a little bit more anxious, and I'm like, I'm not going nowhere, I don't want to mess with nobody, I don't want to see nobody, I'm gonna just sit in the house so I don't get COVID, so I can go back to the UAE. Because at that particular time, I had been there for, 3 weeks. I'm ready to get back into my space. I don't want anything to jeopardize the opportunity I have to return to UAE, to get back to my own space and get some other things, in motion. So testing in the US can be testing anywhere nowadays can be a little bit difficult. But thankfully, I was reminded to make my appointment early with CVS online, because trying to go anywhere last minute would have been an absolute no-no. So what I was nervous about was getting my test results back in time. So I took the test a few days early. So let's say I took the test on the 2nd, and because I left on the 4th, because I also couldn't take the test too early because my results needed to be within, I think, 72 hours before I landed here. So everything was on a time constraint. I even considered going to like an urgent care and getting a test done, but I would have had to pay $250 for them to tell me that it could be on time. So I nixed that, and I relied on the Lord and faith to give me that test from CVS back in time, which it did. It happened. That was great. First test, negative from CVS. Wonderful, great. I head out. And then when I get here on the 5th, at the Abu Dhabi airport, they test you as soon as you get there. I test negative, great. Life is moving on. So I'm here for a couple of days, chilling out, right? And then my sisters, they start to decline. I'm like, you good? What's going on? They don't feel well. My sister went to go get a test. She tested positive on the 7th. I'm like, oh, man. And then my second sister tested positive. Oh, man. So I said, all right, cool. I felt like I just had extreme jet lag because I was super duper tired. I slept for days when I returned. So I didn't think anything of it, but then like jet lag and just the pressure that travel puts on your body anyway. And so when both my sisters tested positive, I was like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and get a test just in case. Because if you don't know, the travel situation right here in the UAE or in Abu Dhabi specifically is you test on day 1, the day you land, and then you test on day 6. And this is to catch in the middle of the incubation period for COVID just in case. So I tested before day 6 because I didn't want to wait just in case, I'm going somewhere and I'm positive and I'm spreading it on accident. So I I got back on the 5th, I tested on the 9th, and I tested positive. All right, so on the 9th, when I tested positive, what I had to do next was go to a drive-through the very next day to make sure I didn't get a false positive, test again, and if it was positive again, then I definitely had to quarantine, stay out of people's faces, and, remain in the house in my room so that I didn't, cause any spread. A couple different things have changed as well. Before you would get a tracker watch, but apparently there weren't anymore. So I was just told if I didn't have any symptoms or they weren't very severe, to quarantine in my house for 10 days. And then I can either wait the entire 10 days or then try and test negative twice so that I can be, kind of released back into the public. All right. So first one, I tested positive on the 9th. I tested positive again on the 11th, which happened to be by day 6 as well. So it's technically a good thing because I needed a test on the 11th. Anyway, if those of you who are here, you understand. So, my symptoms, right? So my symptoms were, like I said before, I thought it was extreme jet lag and a little bit of sinus drainage because I had been traveling and I was tired anyway because I wasn't sleeping very well. So it was just, my symptoms were literally just kind of like just allergy symptoms, congestion and fatigue, which I'm very grateful for. Some of the things that I did while I was, you know, technically sick, if you will, was I had an air purifier in my room running 24/7. I also had a diffuser running as much as possible with some oils, some essential oil. Okay, so the oils that I used to diffuse in my room were peppermint. Show you. Come on. There we go. Peppermint, right? And thieves. Find it. There we go. Thieves. Something that my best friend put me on to help with, you know, being able to breathe, make sure my respiratory system was, you know, working well. The other thing, my throwback, that's old too. You see, it's Albus oil. There we go. Who know about that Albus oil? Come through. There we go. Albus oil. So I had in here smelling like probably old folks home, but I was happy because, you know, had it together. Outside of the air filter and the oils being diffused, also was very thankful for my blackout curtains because I just slept all day, ate pretty well. I'm already a vegetarian, and so I just, you know, no meat. I reduced my intake of dairy and sugar, drank a bunch of water and tea, and just, you know, just rested it out with all of that. So right now, what I'm waiting for is a negative test. Once I get that first negative test, then I can test again, and then I can go back into society and do whatever I got to do. So that's a quick update of how COVID got me in 2022, and I'm hoping that I can steer clear of that thing. Also, another joint is shout out to N95 mask, because, you know, if you live with people, you need to keep them safe. So I've been wearing an N95 mask when I have to exit my room for any reason, which is rare other than to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna throw some links below where you can get some of those essential oils, the diffuser, and also the air purifier if you don't have those items in your home already. Go ahead and check them out. They are affiliate links. I appreciate you supporting me and my channel. I want everybody to keep safe. If you've had COVID, I hope that you've recovered well. If you get it, those are some of the things that I can suggest to you. Stay safe, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Comment below with some of the things that you did. Also, you know, was repping Vicks and everything like that. That was another random, I'm sorry. But anything that you did to recover from COVID or things that you did to prevent yourself from getting it. But I look forward to sharing more about my journey when I am released from my room a little bit later. And I'll holler at y'all later. God bless.